From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, October the 15th, 2019. We open with several reports of anti-Semitic incidents over the last few days. Hateful posters were found glued to the doors of Temple Emmanuel in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Sunday morning by its rabbi, Michael Shattuck. The Jerusalem Post shared images reportedly of the posters, which include the image of Hitler and a call for a, quote, crusade against Semite-led subhumans. The city's Mayor Rosalind Bliss tweeted, "Standing in solidarity with our Jewish friends and neighbors and standing united in rejecting these acts of hatred and anti-Semitism." Local police are investigating the incident as a hate crime. An Israeli flag belonging to a synagogue in Massachusetts was found defaced with a swastika and other Nazi imagery just after Yom Kippur. Rabbi Elias Lieberman of the Falmouth Jewish congregation in Cape Cod, who found the flag on the synagogue's grounds, called the incident a wake-up call. He said the Cape is not the picture-perfect postcard people like to think it is, or for that matter, any place in the country. The Falmouth Police Department and the Anti-Defamation League's New England office are investigating. And police in Framingham, Massachusetts are investigating reports of anti-Semitic activity on social media by students at Christa McAuliffe Middle School. The school's executive director, Kristen Harrison, shared the news on Facebook, saying the school immediately called for an investigation and stressing that the community does not tolerate this type of behavior. And in New York, Call Live reports that a Jewish man crossing the street in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, was slapped in the face and called a dirty Jew by a man riding a bicycle who crossed in front of him on Saturday afternoon. Police are investigating that incident as a hate crime as well. Israel's leaders have made official appeals to Russian President Vladimir Putin to release a young Israeli-American woman being held in Russia on drug charges. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel's President Reuven Rivlin each sent letters to Putin urging him to pardon 26-year-old Naama Issachar, who back in April was flying from India to Israel with a stopover in Russia, where she was found with less than a third of an ounce of marijuana in her belongings, an amount which is legal in Israel. A Russian court sentenced Issachar this past Friday to 7.5 years in jail for what they charged was drug smuggling, seen even in Russia as greatly disproportionate for the offense. It is believed to be motivated by Israel's planned extradition to the U.S. of Russian hacker Alexei Burkov, with reports that Moscow was looking for an exchange deal of Issachar for Burkov. Netanyahu and Rivlin asked for Putin's personal intervention to show compassion and grant Issachar clemency. Jewish literary critic Harold Bloom has died. Bloom was a longtime English professor at Yale, teaching up until days before his death. He wrote over 20 books, including The Western Canon and The Anxiety of Influence. Bloom died yesterday at the age of 89. Well, the first anniversary of the deadly Tree of Life shooting in Pittsburgh is less than 2 weeks away, and the Jewish Federation of North America has launched an initiative to allow people around the world to come together and remember. Pause with Pittsburgh is a virtual commemoration scheduled for 5 p.m. Eastern on October the 27th. It will include a moment of solidarity and remembrance for the 11 people who were murdered at the synagogue, as well as a link to Pittsburgh's local community public memorial services live stream and a link to post on a community message board. The initiative's website states, "Together we will pause and pledge to maintain our abiding sense of unity and responsibility for one another." Israel has 2 more qualifiers for the Olympics. 22-year-old gymnast Artem Dolgopyat won a silver medal in the men's floor exercise at the Artistic Gymnastics World Championships in Stuttgart, Germany this weekend. Also qualifying there, 32-year-old Alexander Shatilov. Both will represent Israel at the 2020 Tokyo Games. Deadline Hollywood reports that Israeli actress and Wonder Woman star Gal Gadot will take on a heroic role of a different sort. Gadot will produce, together with her husband, and star in Irina Sendler. the Polish heroine who saved 2,500 Jewish children from the Nazis during the Holocaust. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, October the 15th at 7 o'clock. Carolyn Glick discusses the BDS movement against Israel. At 7:30, Daniel Gordis and Thomas Friedman talk about the rift between liberal American Jews and Israel with Abigail Pogrebin. At 9 tonight, Mark Golub sits down for part 2 of a L'chaim with Rabbi Aryeh Katzen. At 10, it's the film Freedom from Tyranny, and at 10:30, Natan Sharansky discusses Israel and Jewish life today with Elliot Abrams. And coming up right after this newscast, it's Innovation Israel. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, October the 15th, 2019. I'm Teisha Bader.